Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode of Who Are They Final Buzzer. Once again, I am Matt, and joining me, not as always on this show, but joining me per normal is Nick.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
But today it's kind of really a special episode. Normally we do this show on Mondays, but pushed it back this week a little bit because we did the 5-hour draft coverage last week, and
It's a lot.
Yeah, and I was able to secure a really amazing interview with the one and the only Andy Isabella, Arizona Cardinals wide receiver, second-round draft pick from last year, and Cleveland native. So I thought that was a really good opportunity to and a really good reason to push the show back.
So, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on. I mean, hell, the highest profile interview we may do for a while.
Definitely.
But no, Andy, you're honestly one of those stories you hear about. Your parents will tell kids about growing up, which is someone who they were always kind of the underdog. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no doubt. I mean, I always had to work my way up, even going through Mayfield High School and all that, and I kind of live by that. It kind of keeps me going, as I no one really gave me a shot. But I got my shot with the Cardinals now, and it's been fun so far. And got a good chance to get a lot more playing time this year, so it's exciting.
And that's honestly going to lead to some of the questions we ask you. And the draft was last week, so of course we got to eventually ask you how you end up feeling your team is now. But you are a Cleveland native, and we actually went to high school with you. I was a senior when you were a freshman. Nick was a junior when you were a freshman. I think I heard the name Andy Isabella throughout the halls. I probably bumped into you once or twice, but you know, when you had that kind of age difference, no one really.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I didn't really know any freshmen either.
Well, I was gonna say I didn't end up wearing it. I've been looking for it because I wear it every once in a while. But I was going to wear my Highland Heights Red Sox T-shirt from when we played baseball together. Many years ago, just as a little throwback. But no, it's definitely just like Matt was saying, great story. Just happy to hear from you again, man.
Yeah. No, it's always awesome talking to guys that went to the same high school with you and just stuff like that.
Yeah. So, Andy, I know you were only recruited by two colleges coming out, Air Force and UMass, correct? D1 colleges, I should say.
Yeah, UMass. I went to UMass was my offer. They offered me really late, but I had the Air Force offer since my junior year, and I actually went out there twice, and I actually thought I was going to go to Air Force for a while, but I didn't really want to do though. They said you had to go commit for like 6 years after, which wasn't my thing. I wanted my dream was always to play in the NFL, so I thought that was kind of hindering it.
Right.
So I ended up signing with UMass, who offered me 2 days before signing day, and it ended up working out great, obviously. But when I got to UMass, actually, I was like, damn, this is the Air Force is much nicer than this. But I committed without going on a visit. But you know, you take risk in life, and sometimes they play out in your favor if you work hard enough and stay on the right tracks.
Well, being where I work, I ran into Coach Pino literally probably about a week ago. And the first thing I had to ask him was, how does it feel to finally have one of your guys drafted? And he just had this giant smile on his face talking about you. And you're like that badge of pride. You and Carrie Spear are the two guys you could say, he's like, I had two guys in the league, doesn't matter. And is that something that means a lot to you, especially considering he's basically the foundation of Mayfield football? He was the head of the youth program and then the head high school football coach. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, all my coaches growing up, they all mean a ton to me. I mean, they're a reason why I kept going, and they gave me the opportunities that they did and kept me motivated, kept me on the right track, and always been there to support me, especially Coach Pino. I mean, he's always supported me. He's always, every time I come back to Cleveland, he's always asking me to take me out to lunch or something. And it's always nice seeing him. So it's good. I mean, it's awesome to have those supports, and it makes it all worth it.
Now, you weren't a ranked prospect during your time at Mayfield. So when the UMass gave you the offer and you accepted, what was that? Describe to me what your time at UMass was like, because I don't know, because that was kind of, like I said, there's the age gap, so it's
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, like any prospect, when you sign to school, they'll hype you up, tell you you're going to be all this great stuff. But when I first arrived at UMass, it was all the opposite. I mean, I was buried in the depth. I actually went there as a running back, and I was like the 8th string running back as a freshman. And it's hard. I mean, it's frustrating. You went from state champion in the 100 at track to being the star running back at Mayfield, to then you're the 8th string running back at UMass. So it could definitely be discouraging when I went there. And I kind of figured they weren't going to play me at running back. So quickly after our fall camp, I had switched to receiver and started playing some special teams. And they were going to redshirt me, but then they actually pulled the redshirt off after some guys got hurt and threw me on special teams my freshman year. And played a ton of special teams. And then the next year, a couple guys graduated, and they gave me the shot at receiver versus Florida for a couple plays, and ended up having a good game versus Florida my sophomore year. And then literally the next day we came into practice, the coach pulls me over and pulls all the receivers, and he's like, "All right, Andy, you're the number 1 receiver now." So, and then it quickly escalated from that. I mean, then I kind of took off and kind of had the career that happened at UMass and helped me get the NFL. And I mean, I had Coach Whipple there, who was a great, probably one of the best coaches for me to have, just in terms of his NFL experience, winning a Super Bowl with the Steelers when they played the Cardinals, which is kind of funny. But it was an awesome experience. I learned a lot at UMass. I mean, it was definitely tough being so far away from home, but I think it was the best thing for me because it really let me focus on myself and getting better, and didn't really have any distractions. So it was an awesome experience there.
Yeah, your time at UMass is actually really important. You mentioned you get that first game against Florida. You had a tendency to always show up against the big teams during your college career.
Yeah, those are the funnest games to play. So I mean, I don't like saying like, I showed up in the big games, and then I was like, screw the little games. But you know, those are the funnest games to play. Those are the teams where you're like, I wanted to play for that. When I was growing up, I was like, I wanted to play for the Floridas, Ohio States, and all that, but they didn't give me the shot, so I was at UMass. So getting to play in those stadiums, it was a big honor to me to play in those games, and I took it very seriously when I played in those games, and I knew that those games were gonna escalate me to the NFL, which a lot of scouts actually pointed out to. They're like, look at his numbers in the big games, he always stepped up. So that was big for me going into the draft for sure.
Well, you actually answered the question I was about to ask there, so that's great. But yeah, I remember, wasn't it close to 300 yards against Georgia?
yeah. I mean, they blew us out pretty good, but I did have a decent amount of yards when they had their starters in the first half, and then they pulled them out and made it a little easier on me and the quarterback. So, but still, they always said that was still very. No one really does that, even if they're playing all the backups. So in the second half only. So that was also big. A lot of scouts talked about that game and would watch that film when I was with them last year, or they would pull it up when I was in their draft meetings.
Yeah, I know the Senior Bowl was a big week for you because that was kind of the week where your star really started to rise. Because I remember, and I'll admit this, I'm a homer. Whenever it's someone I know locally, like Mitch Longo or my neighbor, even Drew Teller, he was getting looks for the MLB because he played at St. Bonaventure as a pitcher. Mm-hmm. I always try to follow that process. And I remember right before the Senior Bowl, you were like a 4th, maybe 5th rounder. And then towards the end of the Senior Bowl, you start seeing on the mock drafts that you're late 2nd, early 3rd. Was that something that was meaningful to you? Or is that just a testament to your work ethic?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, when I was in college, I was always thinking like, I just want to get I never really thought I'd get drafted. I was like, hopefully maybe I'll get drafted in the 7th round, like Edelman or something, or maybe I'll go free agent. So when those projections start coming out, it was like, oh crap, I could actually get drafted here pretty high. And it was cool to see it all transpire and kind of see all my hard work kind of pay off, and just how it like you said, like you kind of see it happen. Like you go from the 4th and 5th, and then you do something else that's like Senior Bowl week. I mean, I struggled a little in the practices, but I had a really good game, and then it increased a little. And then the combine comes, and then it increases even more, and then it's kind of just like wow, this is really happening. But it's just the progress and the consistency that you could put in over whatever you do in life, and you just start to see those progressions, and you just get better and better. And it really shows. I mean, I just worked hard, and everything just started to click, and everything just kind of fell in line perfectly.
So I gotta ask, what was that feeling like getting that phone call?
It was awesome. I mean, I had my whole family here. Coach Pennell was here too. A lot of my old coaches were at my house, and it was a surreal moment. I mean, it was something I dreamed of my whole life. I don't even think I ever even thought it was real for until I got to Arizona. It was kind of like, all right, I got the phone call. I'm not in Arizona. Like, is this happening? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, it was surreal. It was a great moment. But it was like just time to get to work. It was just a new goal that was set up. I mean, it was fun for the moment, but then it gets real when you get to the training camps and all that stuff.
Now, were there any other teams that talked to you during the pre-draft process that you had a feeling were really interested in you?
I knew the Cardinals were really interested. The Chiefs actually, they did a pre-workout, so they actually flew out 2 of their guys here to Ohio and worked me out at the facility down at Spire. So we had a couple. So Chiefs, and then the Steelers did a pre-draft visit with me. So it was really the Steelers, Cardinals, and the Chiefs, and then we all also thought the Patriots were kind of interested. So it was like between those 4 teams, we thought we're gonna draft, or the Jaguars, I guess, we're gonna draft later. But between those 4 or 5 teams, we kind of figured it could be one of them. So it was so I didn't really know exactly where I was going to go on draft day, but I guess my agent knew that if I fell to the first pick of the 3rd round, then the Cardinals were going to take me. But obviously they traded up because they thought the Patriots were going to snag me. But I guess it was fun. It's cool how to see it all work out.
Well, we do actually have a question that popped up here from George Thomas. Going into season 2, what do you have to get better at doing?
A lot of things. I mean, my coaches want to see me just take over the role. I got to stay healthy through camp this year. That was one of the main things that kind of hurt me, was getting hurt in camp. But I did what I did. I mean, I when they put me in there, I made plays, and so hopefully they give me a better shot to get on the field this year. But they want to see me be more of a route runner. That's one of their things. So I've been working on my routes a little. A lot of my college tape was kind of just moving me around and having me run to space. So they want me to be a better route runner. So that's what I've been working on a lot. So that's one of the main things, really just take the coaching that they are talking about and put it to the field. So take what they're trying to teach me and take it to the field.
One could argue you probably have one of the greatest coaches of all time in uniform with you, and Larry Fitzgerald. So I know your father told me about how close you two got during your time there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Larry's awesome mentor. He's taught me a lot already. He's always, every time I'm messing up or doing something wrong or something that he sees is wrong, he's always right there to try to correct it. He's always looking out for us. He's always taking care of us in any way. I mean, you hear all the rookie stories where the rookies got to buy all the dinners, but luckily for us, Larry's taking care of us in every way possible. So he's a great guy on and off the field, and it's fun working with him. So it was cool to see him come back this year, and cool to have him in the room for hopefully maybe one, or who knows how long Larry's gonna play.
I mean,
he could play forever, man. He could play forever.
But no, we can't go without saying going into season 2 is going to be a little bit tougher, because not only do you, of course, have Larry Fitzgerald, who is Larry Legend, as they call him, but you guys picked up DeAndre Hopkins. They traded the 2nd-round pick. I mean, that wide receiver room's getting crowded, man. What do you think you have to do to make your move in the rotation, get higher up on the depth chart?
Yeah, it was hard last. I mean, they brought me in, and I was playing the slot, and Larry and Christian Kirk were in the slot already, and they weren't going to give up those guys' positions no matter how hard I played or how well I did. So it was kind of frustrating going through that. But this year, I mean, they said the 4th receiver spot is going to be, there's going to be a battle for that. So just staying focused and battling out for a spot. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, I got to go battle out and win a spot. and get on special teams and do that and just continue to make a name for myself. And then maybe Larry retires in a year or two to then take over that slot position.
Well, you just brought up special teams. Is there a possibility we see you on like kick and punt returns? Because I know at Mayfield you had a tendency to be on those, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I did a little kick return in the beginning, and then they signed a guy, and then they ended up using him. But I actually played a lot of special teams for the first 8 games on punt team and did the gunner stuff, and it actually worked. It was pretty fun doing that. So hopefully I'll be able to get a chance to do some more of that, and then yeah, definitely kick return and punt return. The guy they didn't re-sign the guy, so that position totally up for grabs. So it's just going to be a matter of going in there and winning that job.
What is it like? Because not only were you such a young addition to the team, but obviously your quarterback, Kyler Murray. What is it like having such a young person and building that bond with your teammates?
I think it's cool. It's kind of everyone. It's kind of cool. Everyone kind of came in there. All us rookies and coaches. All of us were all new. So it was kind of we're starting from the ground up and building our way up. And definitely. So I just got done watching every game from last year, and there's a lot of things a lot of opportunities that we missed, and a lot of things that we could get better on. And it's kind of cool watching. We won 10-1, and I think with the new additions like DeAndre, Hopkins, and a lot of good defensive players that they re-signed, and getting a couple guys back on defense that got hurt, it could be a really special year or two for everyone in the building for this new staff and for the new players and all that.
Well, you mentioned you just rewatched this past year's film. Being a Cleveland guy, what was it like beating the Browns last year?
It was. I was a diehard Browns fan growing up, so it was cool. It was cool getting to watch. It's cool playing actually versus the Browns. It's kind of almost surreal, almost like the draft was, just being out there versus the Browns. So that was awesome. I mean, it was a cool experience. Even watching the film versus the Browns, it was like, damn, that's the Browns. Like that's who I grew up watching every Sunday and stuff. So that was definitely a really cool experience.
Well, I know from talking with your dad, like he was very active in your rookie year. Like he said, he was going to every game possible. Any chance he got. What was that like having your dad try to be there every step of the way that he possibly could for you?
It's awesome. I always love all the support, and just the support he gives me. I mean, he was out there for I think three or 4 games this year, and just having at the game and having got people at the game coming to watch, it gets you excited, it gets you more excited, and gets you in that state to play. And it's kind of all out there by myself. So I mean, it's always nice having family come out there and visit and just give me some company.
Yeah, I know your trip kind of got extended because of COVID, but I know your dad told me you were here till around Easter originally. I know you've been training in Independence Inspire, he said. So, like, what's that training like for you every day?
Yeah, I'm getting up at like 6 a.m., going to work out early there at the facility down in Cleveland, and then I get home at around 10 a.m. usually. And then I get eat, and then I got meetings with we're doing virtual meetings with our team. So we do like 2 hours of virtual meetings. So I'm staying really busy actually. So I mean, I'm staying busy. So I mean, it's not that boring. I mean, usually at night and stuff I get bored, but I would be just as bored if I was in Arizona. Just working from because the off season is only like 8 a.m. to noon every day. So that's nothing really. I mean, you have the rest of the day to yourself. You can find stuff to do. So I've been staying busy doing a bunch of things. I actually went back to school and became a certified trainer. So that was kind of
nice,
kind of cool. So I've been keeping myself busy for sure. So it hasn't been too bad. But I'm definitely ready to get back to Arizona. It's getting hot out there now, but I'm ready to get back there and get back to work and get it going again.
All right. Well, something every kid always dreams of, and you're one of the select few that get to live it, is being in a video game.
That's funny you say that because I actually played Madden. I don't play video games, but I played video games for the first time in like probably 5 years yesterday. And my little brother has Madden, so I was down there and I played literally yesterday. I did this. Like I haven't played video games in 5 years. And I was playing with the Cardinals on Madden. I lost. I was playing the Patriots. I lost. I lost the game-winning field goal. I was pissed. No,
Well,
it was kind of cool playing. It was cool playing. I might go play again tonight.
well, Madden does this thing. I play Madden religiously. You can even ask Nick. Madden does this thing where now you have the player traits, and your player has a hidden trait, which basically means if you're playing a franchise mode, the better you play with that player, that's the kind of player they think can develop into a star player. And I know heading towards the draft, we started hearing the comparisons of Wes Welker and all these famous slot receivers. Does that put any added pressure onto you?
No, not at all. I mean, I like that. I mean, I've been watching Julian Edelman's tape from last year, and just watching their stuff. It's like, yeah, I could do the same thing if I get the chance and had that chance. It's kind of watching that stuff. I mean, watching him and getting those comparisons, it just gives me motivation to be like that and have those careers that they had and continue and just come. They basically had to work as hard as they can to get their opportunities. So that's basically what I have to do now to get my opportunities. So it's exciting to get those comparisons, and it's fun to get them. I mean, it's something that I look forward to almost and try to live up to.
Well, we talked about this earlier, but the draft was last week. You guys had honestly a hell of a draft. You picked up Isaiah Simmons in the first round.
Yeah,
were able to get one of the top-rated left tackles in the third round. I mean, looking at what your team added through the draft and free agency, how do you think the Cardinals are positioned this season?
I think definitely a playoff team for sure. I mean, if you look at we got definitely the hardest division I think in football. But a lot of the Rams, they lost a lot of guys. The Seahawks had a bunch of injuries. So we'll see how they bounce back. And then, of course, you got the 49ers. They're going to be good. But I think we definitely have a chance to win the division. And, well, I think absolutely 100% we'll make the playoffs this year. So,
out of the rookies that were added, who are you most excited to get on the field with? Are you ready to go at Isaiah Simmons or –
Yeah, no doubt for sure. I mean, it's gonna be fun. I mean, I don't really know those guys from anything, so it'll be just cool to meet those guys and see what they're all about, and get going with them on the field as soon as possible.
Well, so I do gotta ask, what is your favorite part about being in the NFL right now?
I think it's just being in the NFL is a huge honor, and it's just, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I love working out and just staying in shape, and I mean that's basically what I'm doing for like a living, and so just being able to do that and just being able to do what I love, I mean that's my favorite part about being in the NFL is that I get to live out my dream, and get to work out every day, and I mean it's definitely a blessing in itself, just that, and get to take care of a lot of people, take care of my family and all that, so it's awesome. I can't wait to see what the future holds here, and I'm excited for the future and just keep on going and get to see how this career folds out.
Yeah, you brought up your family. I know your dad told me like you and your siblings are like this. How many siblings do you guys have? Is it like 4, 5?
There's 7 of us total, so it's 6,
oh wow,
6 siblings. Yeah. So yeah, we're all pretty close. We're all in this house together. We're all kind of driving each other nuts right now because everyone's.
He said your whole story is kind of a driving point for your brother who just committed to Duquesne for football.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got a great opportunity to go play at Duquesne. I mean, look at his case. You would think that after kind of what I put together at UMass and through the draft, that a bigger school would have reached out to him, which he did have some big schools reaching out to him, but no one pulled the trigger and gave him the scholarship, which is very unfortunate. But Duquesne gave him a great financial aid and stuff, and he's barely paying anything to go there. And probably next year they said he'll be going there for free. So, and it's a great education he's going to get, and he's got a great opportunity to play there. And I told him wherever you play at, it doesn't matter. I mean, I came from UMass and was a second-round pick. So if he works hard enough and puts up the numbers, and I mean he's fast, just shows out at the combine. I told him you never know what's going to happen. Even if he gets a shot in the NFL, you can still make it. I mean, I know guys on our team that are free agents that play in the NFL, 5-year vets, 6-year vets that were free agents. So, I mean, he's got a great opportunity at Duquesne, and it's going to be what he makes of it. So I'm excited to watch him and see how his career unfolds at Duquesne.
So is there any sibling rivalry going on there? Could we see a potential like Watt situation where eventually, if he gets in the league and you're still there, which honestly I think you will be, you have that kind of talent. I've seen you run. You're quick, dude. Like, could we see a potential like eventually you guys end up playing each other and just sibling rivalry going on there, trying to show each other up?
Yeah, that would be something awesome. We were actually playing soccer against each other yesterday just for fun. I was practicing with my sister, and then Joe got involved. And I have to say, I did beat him 1-on-1 in soccer. So he's playing pretty tough. He's gotten pretty strong. He was trying to body me around a little. He's getting pretty strong. So that would be really cool for sure.
All right, Andy. Well, I know you. It's the evening on a Friday. You probably want to spend time with your family. But we do want to thank you for coming on, Nick.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You got any other questions?
No, I look forward to continuing to beat Matt and Madden with you on the Cardinals. So, I thank you for coming on, and it's just been a blast hearing from you again.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It's been cool talking with you guys.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone for watching. Once again, I'm Matt.
I'm Nick.
And this is our special guest, Andy Isabella. And this is another Who Are They? Final Buzzer.
Take care, guys.